My name is Everly. After the man I trusted most broke my heart into pieces, I became his stepmother. I know it sounds impossible. I know most people would never believe such a story, but this is what happened to me. This is my truth. This is a story about pain, deep, terrible pain. This is also a story about anger, the kind of anger that burns inside you like fire. But at the same time, this is a story about love, real love, the kind you never expect to find. It is about discovering happiness in the strangest, most unlikely place. Let me tell you how it all began. I am 24 years old now. I think of myself as a simple person. I grew up in a small village where nobody had much money. My family was poor, very poor. My father worked long hours in a factory. My mother cleaned houses for other families to earn a little income. We did not have luxury. We did not have comfort. But we had each other, and somehow that was enough. We felt happy despite everything. From a very young age, my parents taught me the value of hard work. They told me that if I wanted a better life, I had to fight for it. I had to work harder than everyone else. So I did. I dreamed of leaving the village one day. I dreamed of studying, of finding a good job, of living in a place where I did not have to worry about money every single day. When I turned 20, I finally left. I moved to the big city. It was loud and crowded and overwhelming, but it was also full of possibilities. I found a small apartment to rent. It was tiny and old, but it was mine. I enrolled in evening classes and found work at a local cafe to pay for everything. That is where I met him. His name was Dax. Dax was beautiful. He had sharp green eyes that seemed to see right through you. His smile was warm and charming. When he walked into a room, people noticed him. He had that kind of presence, that kind of magnetism. And when he looked at me, I felt special. I felt like I mattered, like I was someone worth loving. We started dating, and soon I fell deeply in love with him. I thought he was the best man in the entire world. I thought I was the luckiest girl alive. We were together for 3 years, 3 long years. And during that time, I gave him everything I had. I cooked his meals, I cleaned his apartment. I worked double shifts at the cafe just so I could buy him gifts. My feet would ache from standing all day. My back would hurt. My hands would smell like coffee and grease. But none of that mattered to me. I was happy. I was happy because I believed Dax loved me too. I imagined our future together. I imagined us getting married. I imagined having children. I imagined growing old beside him. I truly believed that he felt the same way. But I was wrong. So terribly, painfully wrong. One afternoon, something unexpected happened. The cafe was quieter than usual. There were hardly any customers. My manager looked at me and said, "Everly, you can go home early today." I felt a sudden rush of excitement. I thought it would be nice to surprise Dax, so I stopped by his favorite pizza place and picked up a large box of his favorite kind. I had a key to his apartment. He had given it to me months before, so I let myself in quietly. I wanted to surprise him. But as soon as I stepped inside, I heard voices, a woman's laughter, high and light. My heart began to race. My hands turned cold. I walked slowly into the living room, and there he was, Dax, on the couch, with another woman. She was beautiful. She had long blonde hair and expensive clothes, designer clothes. She was sitting close to him, too close, and he was kissing her. The pizza box slipped from my hands. It hit the floor with a loud crash. Dax jumped up. He turned around and looked at me, but there was no guilt in his eyes, no regret, only annoyance. "Everly," he said sharply, "what are you doing here?" I could barely breathe. Tears were already streaming down my face. I asked him the same question. I reminded him that I was his girlfriend, that I had been with him for 3 years, that I loved him. The blonde woman stood up. She looked me up and down with a mocking smile. She laughed, actually laughed. She said to Dax, "This is your girlfriend? She looks more like a servant." Dax looked at me. Then he looked at her. And then he said the words that destroyed me. He said, "She's nobody, just someone I know. You need to leave, Everly. I'm with Marissa now. Her father owns half the companies in this city. She's rich. She's important. You're nothing." I felt like the ground had disappeared beneath my feet. I whispered his name. I told him I loved him. But he just shook his head. He said, "Love doesn't pay the bills. Get out." So I left. I ran out into the rain. I did not care that I was getting soaked. I did not care that people were staring at me. I just ran. And I cried. I cried until I could not cry anymore. For weeks after that, I stayed in my tiny apartment. I did not eat. I could not sleep. I lost weight. My eyes were always red and swollen. I felt ugly. I felt stupid. I felt worthless. How could I have trusted someone who threw me away like garbage? But slowly, the sadness turned into something else. It turned into anger, burning, fierce anger. Why was I the one suffering? I had been loyal. I had been kind. I had done nothing wrong. Dax was the liar. Dax was the cheat. He should be the one in pain. I looked at myself in the mirror one morning. I wiped my tears, and I made a decision. I was done crying. I was going to make him pay. I was going to make him regret what he did to me. But I had no idea how. I was just a waitress. He was living a life of luxury with Marissa. Still, I went back to work. I had to. I needed money. I forced myself to smile at customers, but inside, I felt frozen, empty. And then, one day, everything changed. A man walked into the cafe. He was different from our usual customers. He wore an elegant navy suit. He had an expensive silver watch. He looked important, powerful. He was older than me, maybe in his late 40s or early 50s, but he was handsome. His hair was turning gray and he had kind brown eyes. He sat down by the window and opened his laptop. He looked tired, exhausted actually. I walked over and asked what I could get for him. He looked up at me and smiled gently. He ordered a black coffee. His voice was deep and warm. When I brought his coffee, I also gave him a small cookie, free of charge. I told him he looked like he needed the sugar. He smiled again, a real smile. He said, "You're very observant. Thank you. Work has been difficult lately." I said, "I understand. Hard work is something I know well." From that day on, he came to the cafe every day, always the same table, always the same order. And slowly, we began to talk more. His name was Sterling. He was a very successful businessman. He owned properties all over the city. He was wealthy, powerful. But he was also deeply lonely. He told me his wife had died 10 years ago. He said his son rarely visited him. He said his son only cared about money and parties. I told him I was sorry. I said he seemed like a good father. He sighed and said, "I tried, but my son, he's difficult. I spoiled him too much when he was young. Now he thinks the world owes him everything." Over time, Sterling and I became friends. I genuinely liked him. He was kind. He was respectful. He listened to me. He treated me like I mattered. One day, he accidentally left his wallet on the table. I grabbed it and ran after him. When I gave it back, he looked shocked. He said most people would have taken the money inside. I said, "I'm poor, but I'm not a thief." He smiled, and then he asked me to have dinner with him as a thank you. I said yes, not because I had any plan, but because I felt safe with him. I felt less alone. We went to a beautiful restaurant. We talked for hours. He was intelligent, funny, charming. And then, toward the end of the meal, he showed me a photograph. It was of his son, a young man about my age. My blood turned to ice. It was Dax, my ex-boyfriend, the man who had destroyed me. Sterling asked, "Are you all right, Everly? You look pale." I stared at the photo, and in that moment, a dangerous idea began to form in my mind. Dax had thrown me away for money, for status. What if I married his father? I would have all the wealth Dax wanted, and more than that, I would become his stepmother. I would have power over him. I smiled at Sterling. I said, "Your son is very handsome." And just like that, my plan began. I never told Sterling about my past with Dax. I focused all my attention on him. And honestly, it was not hard to make him fall in love with me. He was lonely. He was searching for someone to care about him. And I was young, attentive, and kind. We started a relationship. Sterling was everything Dax was not. He was generous, thoughtful. He gave me gifts, flowers. He told me I deserved beautiful things. And somewhere along the way, I started to care for him, really care for him. But I still held on to my plan. I still wanted revenge. 3 months later, Sterling invited me to meet his son. We went to his mansion. It was enormous, beautiful. Dax was in the living room when we arrived. Sterling introduced me as his girlfriend. Dax turned around, and when he saw me, he dropped his wine glass. It shattered on the floor. He looked like he had seen a ghost. I smiled calmly. I said, "Hello, Dax. It's nice to see you again." Sterling looked confused. I lied smoothly. I said we had met briefly in the city once. Nothing important. Dax's face went pale. He stammered in agreement. At dinner, Dax could barely eat. He kept staring at me. Sterling held my hand and told Dax he should find a woman like me, a woman with a good heart. Dax looked like he might be sick. I asked about Marissa. Dax said they had broken up. She had found someone richer. I smiled. Karma, I thought. Things moved quickly after that. Sterling proposed to me 6 months later. He gave me a huge diamond ring, and I said yes. Part of me wondered if my feelings were real, or if I was still driven by revenge. But when I thought about Dax having to call me his stepmother, I felt satisfaction. The wedding was grand. Dax had to be the best man. He had to hand me the ring. His hands were shaking. I moved into the mansion. I left my old life behind. I had servants, luxury, everything I had ever dreamed of. Dax still lived in the guest wing. He continued his lazy lifestyle. One morning, he asked Sterling for $5,000 for a trip. Sterling said, "Ask Everly. She manages the household now." Dax was furious. But I refused. I told him to get a job, to earn his own money. He stormed out, and I felt powerful. But as time passed, something changed inside me. I saw who Sterling truly was. He was kind to everyone. He donated to charities. He cared for me when I was sick. And I began to feel ashamed. I had used this good man for revenge. So I started trying to be a real wife, not out of spite, but out of love. When Sterling got very sick with the flu, I stayed by his side for 3 days. I did not sleep. I just took care of him. And in those quiet moments, I realized something. I loved him, truly loved him, not because of his money, but because of who he was. When he recovered, he cried. He said I was the best thing that ever happened to him. I told him I loved him, and I meant it. But Dax was not done. He threatened to tell Sterling the truth about our past. He wanted to ruin me. I told him to go ahead. I was scared, but I was also ready to face the truth. That evening, Dax told Sterling everything. He said I was a liar, a gold digger, that I had been his girlfriend. The room went silent. Sterling asked me if it was true. I chose honesty. I said yes. I admitted that I had planned revenge, that Dax had hurt me, that I had wanted to make him suffer. But I also said my feelings had changed, that I truly loved Sterling now, that he was the only man who had ever treated me with respect. Sterling was quiet for a long time. Then he said he had already suspected the truth. He said he chose to stay with me because I made him happy, because I cared for him when his own son would not. He told Dax that if he could not respect me, he had to leave. Dax left, and eventually he found a job. He became more responsible, more humble. 2 years have passed since then. Sterling and I are still together. We are happy, truly happy. I learned that revenge is a heavy burden. It can consume you. But love, real love, can heal you. My name is Everly. I started with a dark plane, but I found a family. I found love. And being truly happy is the best revenge of all. No matter how much pain you are in right now, a better tomorrow is possible. You just have to keep your heart open. You never know where you might find your true home. Thanks for listening to my story. If you liked it, hit that subscribe button, drop a comment, and tell me where you're listening from.